Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Live Ones. I am Big Matt, your capper extraordinaire. The big story today, the ALCS is now set, with the Cinderella run comes to an end for the Tigers as the Cleveland Guardians usher in what pretty much everyone figured on being the two teams that it would come down to in the American League since the middle of August, the Yankees and the Guardians, for the right to go to the World Series. It was all academic in the bottom of the fifth as Lane Thomas, the guy who never really broke out as the offensive juggernaut that the Nationals were hoping for, crushed a grand slam over the left field wall. Tariq Skubal, after probably having the best regular season of any starting pitcher in the majors, came up small at the worst possible time. The Guardians, of course, with the best bullpen in baseball, made it easy the rest of the game. Guardians are not going to have an easy time with the Yankees. They were 2-4 against them in the season series and got outscored 37-22. But of course, so much of that was due to Aaron Judge, who was 375 with 9 hits, 5 homers, 10 RBIs, and 7 runs scored against them this season. And Judge has rather infamously gone as cold as a witch's teat this postseason. That's going to be a huge factor if it continues. It was a wild week 7 in college football. 4 different games involving ranked opponents went to overtime for the first time since 2003. Number 13 LSU pulled off the upset by beating Ole Miss at home. I don't really consider that too much of an upset, actually. That was a winning play for us. USC gave number 4 Penn State all it could handle before dropping in overtime. That was a brutal loss for us. Purdue was painfully close to upsetting number 23 Illinois, but failed on a potential game-winning 2-point conversion. Florida failed to score in overtime as number 8 Tennessee survived a putrid performance, and Alabama put on another stinker, trailing in the fourth quarter and narrowly avoiding being upset by South Carolina at the last second. And in unquestionably the game of the year so far, Oregon pulled out the dupe in an absolute classic, a thriller against number 2 Ohio State. Go back and watch the highlights of that game on YouTube after you're done with this video. It's worth it. We have a lot of big-name schools on Fraud Watch right now. I absolutely love this sport. We went 4-4 yesterday for a small loss. It's clear I need to see a bit more of the hockey season develop before making plays because the picture is just not in focus as it was looking like yesterday. We're now going to begin the unenviable task of trying to make sense of an NFL season that's made absolutely no sense and defied all conventional wisdom. We've also got Game 1 of the NLCS to go over. Let's get to it. The Mets and the Dodgers are going to face each other in the playoffs for the first time since 2015 when Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom outpitched prime Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke en route to the NL pennant. Today it's Kodai Senga versus Jack Flaherty. Mets trotting out Senga again after he looked sharp against the Phillies in Game 1, but how much of that was him and how much of that was the Phillies' bats just completely failing in the postseason is up for debate. Regardless, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza says he wants Senga to go about 60 pitches tonight, so expect 4 innings out of him if everything goes right, maybe a little less if things don't go well. Jack Flaherty was among the best pitchers in Major League Baseball through August, but September was his worst month this season. His velocity was way down, and he had disastrous starts against the Braves, Marlins, and Padres. He gave up 4 earned runs and only struck out 2 in 5 1/3 innings in the NLDS against the Padres. It's entirely possible the man's just run out of gas at the end of the season here. I don't trust him. The problem is I don't trust the Mets bullpen either. They had a 4.04 ERA during the regular season and 4.01 so far in the playoffs, so you can extrapolate that if they're coming in after the 4th inning or maybe even sometime in the 4th. You can count on them giving up probably 3 runs to this powerhouse Dodgers offense over the course of the rest of the game. So neither side looks attractive to me as a result, but you have 2 red-hot offenses and shaky pitching. The total is very attractive. Give me the over 8 runs tonight. NFL Week 6, and we're going to start with the London game. I wanted to get this video in early so you guys could play this. Trevor Lawrence had a nice get-right game last week, but was it really? The Colts defense was banged up all to hell. He was facing a whole lot of second stringers. The Bears, for all their faults, are absolute beasts on defense, particularly in the secondary. 6th best pass defense in the NFL. I know they're going to be missing Jaquan Brisker with a concussion, probably Tyreek Stevenson as well, but it doesn't change the fact that Lawrence has been regressing big time in 2024, averaging just 201 passing yards a game. It's closer to 180 when you discount that Colts game. Just 6 touchdowns through his first 5 games. Fortunately, not throwing a lot of picks, but this is still not the production you want out of the guy that you just gave a mammoth contract to as your franchise quarterback. With how strong the Bears defense is, I think we see Lawrence revert to what he's been most of the season today. Add in the travel factor over to London, and I'm taking the Jaguars team total under 21.5. Eagles and the Browns. Everything on paper says this should be the week the Eagles get right. They've got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Lane Johnson back from injury. They had a bye week, and they're 4-0 off the bye week under Nick Sirianni. And Deshaun Watson may be the most catastrophically bad NFL starting quarterback in the last 5 years. And yet, I simply cannot discount just how historically bad this Eagles secondary is. We all saw what happened to them down the stretch last year, where they were getting torched left and right by every quarterback in the league. Even with picking up 2 corners in the draft to help matters out in that department, they haven't gotten any better this year. They gave up 260 yards passing to Jordan Love, 241 to Kirk Cousins, 347 to Baker Mayfield 2 weeks ago. He had almost 200 yards passing in the first quarter. Eagles are 31st in the league in opponents' yards per completion. They give up big play after big play after big play. If ever there was a game for Deshaun Watson to show something, anything, any spark whatsoever of the ability that he had in Houston, it's today. And his passing yards prop is just so low at 186.5. And Jalen Hurts is going to be shitting the bed so badly at quarterback, he'll probably turn the ball over a couple of times that he's going to get, Watson's going to get so many chances at drives. I just have to take that. It kills me as an Eagles fan, but I have to take that. Give me Deshaun Watson over 186.5 passing yards. I think this Eagles secondary gift wraps that to him. That's it for me. I'm just dipping my toe back in the water of the NFL here. It's just been such a crazy season. I've been burned a lot so far. We're going to see if my reads are any better after taking a week off to reassess. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on X at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Sunday, and I will see you next time.